Mr. Ahmed Al-Swedi, and members of your team, government officials, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to welcome you to Zanzibar and to the State House in particular. So first of all, I'm extremely happy to welcome you today here in Zanzibar. I remember having met Mr. Al-Swedi in Durban, and we had a discussion on how you can bring in investors to Zanzibar as well. I know that you have started in the mainland, but Zanzibar being part of the United Republic of Tanzania, we have a particular area of advantage, which I'm going to talk to you about a little bit. Here in Zanzibar, as you know, we have a very small land mass, and for that matter, our land for us here is the ocean surrounding us. And that's why we have this policy of blue economy. Now, when we talk about blue economy, we're actually talking about 6 sectors. The first one is tourism. The second one is fishing and fish farming or aquaculture. We are also talking about ports infrastructure, there's oil and gas, marine transportation, and finally seaweed farming. So the idea in Zanzibar is to work on these marine resources for our economic growth. Now, the biggest sector right now is tourism. And for that matter, I want to inform you that tourism in Zanzibar is booming, and we have a lot of investors who are interested to come to invest in Zanzibar, particularly in construction of hotels. But hotels is one thing, but the tourists need more than hotel. They don't want just to come and sit in the hotel for 3-4 days, some of them for a week, and go back home, having seen nothing else apart from the beach. So we want to encourage investment in a value addition to the tourism sector. And by that, I mean things like entertainment. You know, we talk about amusement park, water parks, animal parks, opera houses, and even when we speak about sports tourism, we talk about golf courses and so on. So this is the idea of increasing our tourism by attracting more areas other than the hotels that we are seeing being constructed every day. So we would like to welcome all of you who are interested in the tourism sector to work with us and see how you can invest in this area. And I can inform you that the majority of tourists that come to Tanzania in general would either start in the mainland where they have the safari and then come to Zanzibar for the beach, or the other way around. They would start in Zanzibar and go for safari in the mainland. So we have an advantage of a package tourism whereby people can see both worlds of beaches and safaris. So again, I would like to encourage you to look into this, and those of you who are interested in real estate, construction of hotels go hand in hand with what is now known as medical tourism. So hospitals that would be used for tourists. When they come here, they get the hospital, hospital services as well as holidays. That is booming in other places, and we want that to be in Zanzibar. Not to mention things like villas and just apartments, condominiums. All those are required. They have a market, and we believe that with more investment in tourism, Zanzibar will boom even more. Now that we have good infrastructure, including the new Terminal 3 airport here in Zanzibar. The second area is fishing. And I heard from your presentation that you have people who are interested in food processing. But we need to have fish processing here, both for food, but also animal feed, like fish meal and even fish oils. So all that is required, and I'm sure in Egypt for sure you have this because of the fact that you have the sea over there, and I know that there are companies who are interested. So we would want to work with them. And this includes fish farming as aquaculture. The ports, we are, as we were told in the morning over there, we are embarking on construction of one of the biggest ports in the region, you know, because the intention is for transshipment and not only goods for Zanzibar. We want to have bigger vessels coming to Zanzibar and distributing to Dar es Salaam, Mombasa, Beira, and so on. So a big major port is in the offing here in Zanzibar. On the area of oil and gas, recently we have discovered that Zanzibar has got oil and gas as well. There's one company already who has done the exploration, and we are informed now that they have already discovered 11 trillion cubic feet of gas. This is just one block. And we are sure that we have several blocks that we still need investors to come and work with us. So oil and gas exploration is another area that we would like to work with you. Marine transportation, when we have this major transshipment port, we will definitely need to have feeder vessels. So marine transportation is another area. And finally, seaweed. Seaweed is a product that is used in pharmaceutical and cosmetic industries, let alone in food industry. So what we need actually is to add value here by processing it rather than just selling it raw, whereby the farmers in the country are not getting much. So in general, these 6 areas are the main areas of investment in Zanzibar. But all this comes, the last time we met with Mr. Ahmed, I spoke to him about an industrial park. Why do we need industrial parks? Well, we do need industrial park because we want to add value to all the raw materials that we produce in Zanzibar. But also, we want to start to do import substitution. You know, in Zanzibar, we have 600 hotels, but we are still importing poultry, we are importing beef, we are importing dairy. I don't think we need to do that. What we need to do is to establish this factory industry here. We need to establish that and to process these things here because the market of the hotels is there, let alone the general public. So I heard that some of your companies here are involved in poultry. The number of containers coming into Zanzibar on a monthly basis is huge. We need to start to do that here, and that will help us 2 ways. One, it will bring in some jobs for our people rather than importing everything. But secondly, we believe that poultry farming will lead to other commodities like beef products, dairy products, and everything else. So for that matter, that's why we require to have this industrial park. So in general, in short, let me conclude my remarks by once again welcoming you to Zanzibar. We are looking forward to working with you, and I don't need to mention the incentives that we have in place, because the meeting over there, I think you'll be given the full information on investments incentives in Zanzibar. We have 2 islands here, this one Unguja and the other one in Pemba. The one in Pemba, we have, we call it, we have earmarked it for strategic investment. The whole island is a strategic investment area, whereby the incentives are even bigger than Unguja, and the reason is we want what is happening in Unguja to happen in Pemba as well. So ZIPA people are here, they will feed you on all the incentives, but I can assure you, we've got the best investment incentives you can find anywhere. So please, work with us, talk to them, and I'm sure you'll find areas of cooperation between the Egyptian industrialists and Zanzibar, including, of course, and not only industrialists, I'm talking about the whole investment areas that I have just mentioned. With that, thank you very much once again for making the trip to Tanzania and to Zanzibar in particular. I really appreciate it.